Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
We begin tonight with breaking news. We now know the man who police say opened fire at the Grand Forks Walmart off 32nd Avenue South. Thanks for joining us. Mike has the evening off. The shooter's name, Marcel Willis, a 21-year-old active duty Grand Forks Air Force Base member. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson is live in Grand Forks to tell us more on this. Neil?
It's still not clear what motivated Airman Marcel Willis to open fire. Police say there is not a link between Willis and the two Walmart employees he shot. Police say he entered this Walmart store with a handgun shortly after 1 a.m., shot and killed one employee, shot and wounded a second employee who has since been treated and released. Police say he also shot at a third employee but missed. Then he turned his handgun on himself. He was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. But all this is still unclear about what motivated the shooting.
At this point, it doesn't appear a domestic quarrel with any of those employees could have been a motivation for this?
Correct. Right now, there does not appear to be any linkage between the suspect and anyone who was shot, anyone at the scene, the particular store location.
And Mr. Willis, was he facing charges at the Grand Forks Air Force Base on other things?
That I have no idea and would not have knowledge about that.
Now, police say they believed Willis lived at the air base, but we're still awaiting word from Air Force Public Affairs on whether he was in any kind of trouble out there. So at this point, this tragedy remains a bit of a mystery with police have no motivation as to what caused all this. And they're asking for your help. If you have any information about this case or what may have motivated it, you're asked to give police a call.
All right, Neil, thank you so much. If you want to watch the entire news conference from Grand Forks Police today, we have it online at valleynewslive.com. Now, we've had multiple teams in Grand Forks since early this morning, and our team coverage continues now. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Nicole Johnson has been talking with people at the air base, along with witnesses who saw the terrifying incident unfold firsthand. She joins us live from the Walmart near 32nd Avenue. Nicole?
The store's closed now, but there's been a lot of action here today. Employees and customers pulling up, wondering what's going on. And when they've heard about the shooting, many of them are shocked, as you can imagine.
Like either run out the door or I'm gonna probably end up getting shot.
Steve Alarad hasn't been able to sleep after a trip to Walmart he says he will never forget.
We just walked in, took a right, and probably like 3-4 minutes out of it, we heard shots. And we did not know what was going on.
A few aisles away, Alarad says he didn't see the shooter. He ran, hid, and called 911.
All I heard was some lady yelling help.
Once police showed up, Alarad says about 30 people, customers and employees, were evacuated.
We looked to our left and there was a deceased man on the floor, and it was pretty sad, and I pray for his family and people that were struck by this tragedy. It was really sad.
Hours later, the community is still in shock. A Sam's Club employee told us, in tears, the overnight crew is like a family to her. A different kind of shock for Haley Ames, who pulled up for a job interview at Walmart to find crime scene tape.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
She says the shooting won't impact her hoping to get hired.
It happens everywhere, really. I mean, it's sad, but it's the truth now. Anywhere it could happen.
Sights and sounds, Alarad says he won't ever forget.
It sounded like a shotgun. And that's when we were just getting up and running and hiding.
The names of the two Walmart employees involved in the shooting are expected to be released tomorrow. We talked to the family of the man who died in the shooting, and they tell us he was passionate about his job. A Walmart employee for over 20 years. He says he liked working. They told us he said he liked working nights because it was quiet. The other victim was released from the hospital today. We're told she's in satisfactory condition. Reporting in Fargo, Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
And that is in Grand Forks. Now, Walmart officials say that they're still unsure when they will reopen that store. Well, lawyers for a West Fargo teacher accused of having a sexual relationship with a student have filed a response to the state's request for a mistrial. Court documents say the court should not grant a mistrial and recognize the jury's unanimous decision to acquit Aaron Knodel on 3 of the 5 counts after the 12th juror was hospitalized during deliberations. The response says in part the state did not take action at the time of the trial, never requested to pull the 12th juror, and if the juror was pulled, it would not have changed the results. Defense attorneys also stated, given the unique circumstances during deliberations, there's no manifest necessity for the declaring of a mistrial on the remaining 2 counts. Well, to our weather now, a beautiful day out there, some much needed sunshine after some much needed rain. Take a look at the conditions out at Detroit Lakes. Just a perfect day to be out on the beach. Let's head over to Hutch Johnson now to see how the rest of the night will play out. Hutch?
Well, if you're heading out to the beach or if you're heading off to watch a baseball game tonight, there's a chance for some spotty thunder showers. Most of us will get by with nothing at all, but as you see, a line extends from Lake of the Woods County right through the Polk County area and into southeast North Dakota. Let's take you in a little bit closer. We have a couple of small hail-producing storms moving in toward Lisbon right now, and those will continue to move to the southeast quite slowly. Brief heavy rain and hail up to about 1/2 inch in diameter possible there. Moving out of Climax and towards the Hallstatt area, another small hail-producing cell, some lightning with those as well. Now, earlier in the day, this is earlier, we had a strong storm develop near Galesburg and was showing some signs of rotation. We went on the air briefly to update a few folks there, and here is a photo that was shared with us from the Galesburg area. This is shared with us by Gaikala Mitchell. Thank you very much for sharing the photo. This is hail from that cell. You can see a lot of pea-sized hail. So we'll continue to track spotty thunder shower activity. I don't anticipate widespread severe tonight, Stephanie, but bring the umbrella, and if lightning develops, don't go to the tallest tree.
Be careful is what you're saying.
Indeed, yes.
All right, thank you, Hutch. A woman who was found on fire in Crookston, Minnesota has died. Police say that Balver Carr died from her injuries on Friday. A neighbor found the 60-year-old on fire, saying the back of her head was burned through to her scalp and skin so bad that her skull was exposed. She was taken to Hennepin County Medical Center but died. The incident is still under investigation. However, police do not believe that there is a public safety concern. After the sudden death of a Bemidji baseball player over the weekend, we wanted to know if there are any extra precautions that parents and athletes should take before their kids lace up to play. There have been at least 3 young athletes die in our area since late last fall. In November, Patrick Schoonover died from an undiagnosed heart problem at a Brainerd hockey tournament. January, Matthew Holland, a Barnesville grad and Mayville State University player, had a seizure and died. And then this past weekend, Zachary Shabbat died in an underlying medical condition after getting hit with a baseball. We asked a local doctor if parents should get more in-depth testing done for their young athletes, but they tell us no.
I think testing everybody with EKGs, echocardiograms, pulmonary function tests it's not a realistic goal. There are always going to be certain hidden injuries or electrical malfunctions in the heart that can come to light at some point. We can't catch all of those things.
Sanford Health says the best thing that parents can do, just keep an eye on their kids and have them get regular checkups with their doctor. Well, we're about a month into construction season already, and some projects in our area have a city torn apart, like Washington Avenue in downtown Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. The street is being redone completely to add wider sidewalks and new utility lines. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop looks into if businesses are feeling the crunch of construction season.
Business owners are used to hearing just outside their front door.
We've still had a lot of customers every day, even the days when there's been no front entrance and only the back entrance.
Construction here in Detroit Lakes is about halfway over. The Chamber of Commerce says many businesses haven't felt the impact from the construction. They say that business is typically slower in May compared to the other warmer months.
In the beginning, we were really concerned that with the road construction, business was going to shut down completely, but it's really stayed steady.
Just outside the window of Becker Pet and Garden, construction crews started to tear up the road. The business has not had to deal with the construction until now. Scott Stonsengard says he is just trying to keep a positive mind despite the hassles it will bring.
It's going to be a little more difficult to come in across the gravel, but I think people still will be able to get in here. A little more effort, but I think they'll be able to make it.
Many shoppers walking around said they support the change.
Very different. I've seen it, on TV that they were going to do it, but I guess I hadn't expected to this degree.
The DL mayor says downtown construction is expected to be completed by the end of June. The other portion from Frazee to Willow Street will be done later in the summer.
The street's going to be done in concrete, so hopefully we're putting together a 45 to 50-year street so we don't have to disrupt our merchants downtown for a very long time.
In Detroit Lakes, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
Well, the DL Street Fair kicks off this Friday and Saturday despite the construction. This year, the fair has moved over one street to Lake Avenue and Holmes Street. And on Friday, come out to meet the Valley News Live team. A meet and greet is happening from about 11 to 1 p.m. Organizers of the street fair suggest parking in the mall lot and along side streets. Well, the city of Detroit Lakes and the Minnesota DNR have come to an agreement regarding the new development on Westlake Drive. The DNR was threatening to sue the city because they felt the development violated the shoreland ordinance. A new hotel, a restaurant, and condos will be built right across from the DL Pavilion and Little Detroit Lake. And the agreement, the city has agreed to discussing changes to the city's shoreland ordinance in the future.
That came up in our discussion was possibly having more flexibility along the most urban section here along Westlake Drive in exchange for maybe more restrictive ordinance on other parts of the lake.
Mayor Matt Brank says the developer is also talking with the DNR regarding proper construction materials that won't impact the lake. Well, later on Valley News Live at 6, we're going to have some ideas for some sweet summer baking for you.
And I'm keeping my eyes on a thunderstorm moving into the Lisbon area right now. Could be producing some half-inch diameter hail, maybe a little larger, moving to the south at 15 miles per hour. Hit and miss thunder showers tonight. I'll have the latest in your forecast coming up right after this.